Hi, everybody. Thank you for streaming with us on WFSB Plus. And we have been continuing these weather updates. I'm Kara Sundlun.
I'm meteorologist Tyler Hughes. We're going to keep doing these because you have a lot of questions. We have the answers.
Yeah. And I think the big news, all of us who've been crossing our fingers and saying, please don't hit us. We won. No snow, right?
Yeah. I think even the snow lovers in Connecticut were rooting for this one to go offshore.
Just give us a little more time to
It's like
to
we got
recover.
so much with Winter Storm Benjamin. It's like, you know what?
We're good.
Let's take a week off. Let's recover. Give the snow blowers a break.
Come and tell us there's no more winter. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And good news is this storm is going to remain offshore, so no snow for us. That's the big take-home point here.
That is the big take-home. And, you know, we know that even though we're coming on here all the time,
Right.
some of you have busy lives and you just haven't really gotten the update and everyone wants to plan. So that's why we're going to continue to do this today with actually the good news of that. Good news, I'm going to call it good news. Maybe the plow drivers want it, but the good news is we're going to get a break from the snow.
There are a lot of people who like the snow, and there's still a lot of snow out there to enjoy. But the good news is no major snowstorm this weekend. Let's talk a little bit about it right now. We'll kind of dive into the forecast here, and then after that, we'll answer some of your questions. But we'll start sort of with the winter storm forecasting timeline. Right now, we're about 3 days out, so we're still sort of in that watching phase of the storm. But you'll see with the model trends that we've gotten lately, this is looking like we're not going to see much, if any, snow. I'm going to ask Jamie in the control room, is there any way you can switch these screens by the green screen to be on the stream so I can see where I'm pointing? If not, then we can just talk about it together without seeing where we're pointing. Maybe it'll be like invisible miming, you know what I mean? But anyway, 3 to 4 days out is what we're watching. And sort of what we've been honing in on, what we know and what we've been giving you the first alert to for days is that this coastal storm is going to develop. We knew that. But what we've been honing in on, what's coming into focus is the track. And Kara, remember your and I conversation yesterday, the track is going to determine the impact, right?
Yes. And
I said that.
The answer was we're getting no snow or we're getting snow. It was either benchmark or the other one, not the inland.
Exactly, yes. And the track determines the impact. Now that the track is coming into focus, we can say with some confidence what the impact will be, which is that the storm is trending offshore, so we're not going to have much snow, but it will be windy at times with gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. So for that reason, we're keeping the first alert weather day.
Can I ask a question?
Of course. This is a Q&A.
Does that mean the wind? And you can ask your questions. Brian's just joining us from Waterbury. Susan Jones, how much from Killingly? Killingly, I can answer that. No.
No.
No snow.
You're not getting snow.
No snow in Connecticut.
This is the latest update, is no snow in Connecticut.
But with that high wind, people might want to, now that there's no snow, they might want to be outside, they might want to go skiing, they might want to, is it going to be really intensely like a horrible wind chill because of the wind? So
it's going to be cold. Let's look at the wind gusts first. This will give us a sort of a good idea of what to expect in terms of the wind gusts.
Okay.
This is Sunday at 5 a.m. We're gusting between 20 and 30 miles per hour. And here's about 4 p.m. We're gusting still between about 20 and 30 miles per hour. Would not be surprising to get up to 40 miles per hour in terms of wind gusts. So it's pretty gusty. But if we look at the feels like temperature, right? I mean, this morning was just bitterly cold. I mean, we were talking about feels like temperatures that were, you know, very far below, 20 degrees or more below zero in some places.
Wow.
Sunday, not quite as bad.
Okay,
and
so
you can see here.
It's still negative. But
it's still negative. It's still at or around zero, but it's not 20 below zero like we had this morning.
And we're talking about feels like. The actual temperature will be more.
Yes, this is the feels like temperature on First Alert Futurecast. This is like Sunday, 3 p.m., feeling like 10 in Hartford, but still sort of in the western half of Connecticut, feeling
Neil Perrone
below
says
zero.
no snow, opening the pool.
Neil, can I come take a dip in your pool?
I don't think anything's gonna. Yeah, it'll be frozen, Neil.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is really good
either
news.
It's going to be frozen or you're going to be spending a lot of money heating up that pool.
I want to just update because now I see about 310 of you have joined the feed. So you might have missed the beginning of which this storm is going offshore. No snow for Connecticut.
No snow for us. In fact, let's look at the latest European model here, because if you remember yesterday when we were on the Q&A, we said the European was the one that was still hanging on to a little bit of snow for Connecticut. We were like, what's it going to do? This is the latest European model. Look at this. Well offshore. Isn't this a beautiful thing to see? Well offshore. no snow for us, and the models are now in pretty good agreement on that as well.
But there's still impact, I guess, if you do own property on the Cape or your parents are there or whatever.
Yeah.
Cape and islands are still having an impact.
The Cape and the islands could still see an impact for sure.
Snow?
Yeah, some snow. In fact, some measurable snow at that. So we have, let's pull this up here. Yeah, so I'll zoom in. Once you get past the canal, so the Cape and the islands, Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket, are under a winter storm watch.
Okay.
For this weekend, and this is for Sunday specifically, for the possibility of accumulating snowfall, which could be in excess of this winter storm watch. I just clicked on the Cape here, between about 4 and 8 inches.
Wow. Okay.
So
I do know a lot of folks in Connecticut who have retired on the Cape, or maybe your parents are there, so they're going to have to, if you need to go check on your house or do anything like that, or help your parents if they're there, we're going to have to think about that.
Yeah, any plowable snow would be over on the Cape from this, but it looks like we won't get any even measurable snow in Connecticut. If we see any flakes flying at all, and I don't think it would even be measurable, it would be in the far eastern half of Connecticut, right along the Rhode Island border.
Brian St. John is saying my city should clean up the snow piles in the downtown area. Brian, I don't know where you live, but I know I was just in New Haven last night, and you know, very difficult still to park on the streets because there's so many piles. So hopefully we can get a handle on this now that we're not getting more, and clear some of the snow that we already have out there.
This is part of the problem, is the temperatures are going to remain below freezing really through the weekend, lasting to the beginning. I mean, next week we'll just barely squeak up into the 30s. And perhaps that will allow some of this to melt, but the fact that we've remained in the 20s is remarkable in terms of this snowpack sticking around. This is the calendar, by the way. We'll show the temperature calendar here. Today is the 7th day in a row in Hartford where we've had a high temperature that's below 25 degrees. Which means that the entire day it's been, so we've been below 25 degrees pretty much for a week straight in Hartford. And that's not even accounting for the wind chill. So it has been a bitterly cold stretch the last week or so. Really, the last 2 weeks, we've only had one day that was above average. Thursday the 22nd, we got up to that high of, whatever, it was in the 40s. And that's been the only one.
Carlos Soto, he's a big viewer. He says, you look disappointed, Kara. Let me be clear, I am not disappointed. But the good thing is, we were talking about this yesterday, a lot of people have plans on Sunday, and so keep the plans.
Yes, exactly.
Don't cancel anything.
We had someone ask yesterday, should I cancel my hotel plans in Boston?
On Saturday night.
Don't cancel that. And we said don't cancel that yesterday.
Yeah.
So
the other thing is, it could put a fly in the ointment, is this is Monday. So if you're just hopping on, we're not getting snow, so it shouldn't affect schools here.
Right.
But people do have to travel sometimes. And I did notice yesterday, this storm didn't go away. It's just hit the bullseyes below us. And it's right over a lot of big airports. So a lot of airlines, if you're flying, have already given you weather waivers, meaning you can switch your flight at no fee. All the big ones like American, United, Southwest, they all put out those notices.
And I mean, if you look at kind of the bullseye of where the most snow from this storm is expected to fall, it's actually sort of right in the Carolinas, right? This storm track comes up by the Carolinas and then heads out to sea after that. So, I mean, think about the major airports in here. We're talking Charlotte, potentially Atlanta could see up to 2 or 3 inches.
Busiest airport in the nation.
Exactly. So that's the busiest airport in the country. Charlotte is a major hub for American too, Delta and Atlanta. And so all these airlines are offering waivers, as you mentioned, because of the possibility of some snow. And these are places that typically don't see a whole lot of snow.
Yeah.
So it can take a while for the operation to get back up to speed. And some of the airlines are still recovering from Benjamin.
Yeah. So the good news is no snow here in Connecticut.
Yes.
If you do have travel plans going south over the Carolinas, the mid-Atlantic states. Now, as you get a little lower to D.C. in that area, it's looking better.
It's looking better, yeah. It's really only like the Carolinas up to maybe southern Virginia that it looks like we'll see some snow out of this.
What about New York City? I know yesterday the New York Post was posting something about a bombogenesis. Is New York City going to be okay?
New York City is going to be totally fine.
Okay.
Bombogenesis, it's a possibility still with this storm, but all it has to do with is the intensification.
Oh, it doesn't mean snow.
It doesn't mean snow.
Oh.
It doesn't mean any type of precipitation.
We've had people canceling our appearances on Great Day Connecticut on Monday because they're coming from New York City and they're like, oh, there's going to be a storm. It's a bombogenesis. So it doesn't really affect your driving, even if there was?
Yeah, no. I mean, it just might be a little bit windy. I guess if you're driving across the GW, you might need to hold on with both hands.
Okay, that's good to know.
Even then, so I did pop up the weekend forecast, and just want to note, by the way, near record cold tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, highs will be in the upper teens, low 20s. So it's actually slightly warmer than today as far as air temperature is concerned. But the lows tomorrow morning, by the time you wake up, our forecast for Hartford is -7.
Wow.
The all-time record for January 31st low temperature in Hartford is -12.
In 1948.
In 1948.
So it's been a long time since we've seen it close to that, I guess.
It's been a long time. I don't think we'll break that record.
Oh, good.
But Bridgeport, we think, might tie that record.
Wow.
3 degrees was set back in 2019. Our forecast is 3. So we could potentially tie a record in Bridgeport, which is the other major climate reporting site.
Wow.
But one more thing I want to note about Sunday as well. With the wind gusts is also the possibility for some coastal flooding. Sunday's the full moon.
Yes.
Is the February full moon. And so you have the astronomical tides. The snow moon, yep, that's right. So you have the astronomical tides, and that can sometimes lead to some minor coastal flooding when you have the wind in combination with the astronomical high tide. So here are the high tides across the shoreline of Connecticut, anywhere from like 8:30 in New London, and then the tide slowly works its way up Long Island Sound. So just after 10:30 in Stamford is the high tide. So keep that in mind, especially if you know you live in an area that's particularly susceptible to this kind of coastal flooding.
Yeah, and the reason we're doing this is to give you the first alert, and we've been on when there was a potential of a big storm. Now we want to let you know that's not happening, because that's news as well, that you can keep your plans. And unless you're on the shoreline, you mentioned like kayaks and stuff, if you keep them out close to the water, you want to bring that in. Anything, if you live in that area, you know what happens if you get a little flooding, so I guess you need to prepare for that.
Right. And the thing is, I mean, we've been giving you the first alert for days that there's going to be this coastal storm. We were like, we don't know what the impacts are just yet. Now that we're focusing in on the impacts, we're 3 days out, we can definitively say that there's not going to be a significant snowfall this weekend. Okay,
what about tonight? It's Friday night, and people might want to go out. And are we going to be okay, or just like frigid?
You'll be fine, but frigid.
Frigid.
So both.
There's a big hockey game, Avon Old Farms versus Westminster. And it's at Westy, and I know a lot of folks are going to go in that area. I'm supposed to go, but it's a partly open-air hockey rink.
Well, I mean, it'll be good. It'll be good for the ice staying frozen. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. For the spectators, I'm not worried about the players. For the spectators, oh my goodness, bring your hand warmers.
Yeah, bring your hand warmers, toe warmers, scarf, hat, gloves. I mean, this is what it's going to feel like tonight at 8 o'clock. So if you're headed out for dinner plans, I mean, it's going to feel 5 to 10 degrees below zero or more. And you're going to go to the Wolfpack, maybe. They've got their 80s night going on. So that's fun. So lots of exciting plans tonight. Keep them. Keep them. Just bundle up. Yeah, exactly. And also, just with this really cold weather, I'll just throw out what we've been doing multiple interviews with AAA. Check your battery now. If it's anywhere near between 3 and 5 years old, they say it's a better thing to get it replaced now. AAA has a really tough time sometimes getting to all those battery calls. It happened to me a couple weeks ago. My battery died, and I had to go get a new one. Better to like go get it tested now and then find out you should get this replaced. And if you take it, dead when you have to get to work. If you take it to any like auto parts store, usually they can test it. The big chain ones will test it for free. Oh, good. And let you know if your battery. Just go in and get it tested. Yep, go in and get it tested. If they're saying like, hey, this is almost dead, just replace it now. And even then, if they say it's almost dead, you can buy a new battery right there. They'll install it for you. Yeah, and it doesn't take very long. No, it takes like 15 minutes maybe. Okay, so that's a good idea. That's one thing you can do. Check your pipes. Pressure? Oh, check your pipes too. The pipes, this is a big deal. That's a big one. We've been getting a lot of frozen pipe reports, and it's easy to see why. Yeah, we got to keep those cabinets open. Keep the, I keep my heat at 70 like that because I've had a frozen pipe, but I've heard at least above 68, and definitely open the cabinets because sometimes it doesn't get in there. So we're not worried about snow. We are worried about the things that happen, like water main breaks and losing heat and no batteries. The big cold is a problem. And that's why tomorrow and Sunday are still very much first alert weather days, right? Tomorrow's still a first alert weather day because of the bitter cold and the wind chill. And Sunday's still a first alert weather day, not because of the snow. Again, we're not going to have any of that, but because of the wind and potential for some minor coastal flooding as well.
Nicole Reed says, one of the best news of the day, no snow. See, don't tell us it's not all negative.
Exactly.
We've got good news. Connecticut is not getting snow this weekend.
I finally get to be the bearer of good news for once. And you know, there's lots of snow lovers out there. That, I mean, I loved getting out in the snow in Benjamin and, you know, enjoying
I like it when it's not this cold.
But I also, back-to-back storms, I mean, less than a week apart would have been a little excessive from Mother Nature, in my opinion.
Take care of your pets in this cold.
Yes,
we just had Dog Star Rescue. They're coming up on Great Day, Connecticut. They have a big rescue event tonight, actually, 6 to 8 at Dog Star.
Oh.
I had to, shovel a little area for my Chihuahua because she can't really go out.
Yeah.
And so we just shoveled like a little area.
A little square.
A little square, and she just goes out and then like wants to come right back in. So the good news is she goes pretty quickly.
Okay, that's
because she just wants to come back in.
Well, yeah.
But you know, even more than 5 minutes in this kind of weather can be difficult for unexposed skin for humans or pets.
Right, exactly, and especially with the wind chills that we had this morning.
I should say exposed skin. Yeah.
Right. That's when. I mean, when the wind chill is 10 to 20 below or more, that's when you can start to develop frostbite in 30 to 45 minutes or less.
Okay.
And so that's when you're really going to want to use caution with the exposed skin and that sort of thing.
What are you doing around your house? Anything else we need to know?
What am I doing around my? I haven't been.
What's the Tyler Hughes prep? What do we need to know?
The Tyler Hughes prep. Chocolate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A nice hot beverage of your choosing, or cold beverage of your choosing.
But like outside, we don't have to worry. Have to shovel for the oil man. That's what they told me. Yes. Yeah,
oh
you
yeah,
don't
shovel
have to deal
for.
with that,
I live in an apartment. I don't have to do that.
Okay, so that's why you're not worried. But yes,
Yeah.
make sure you're shoveling for the oil man because they did say they don't want a bunch of calls if you lose heat and you find out you don't have a check your oil tank right now.
Yes.
And then make sure you shovel and
shovel a path for the delivery person so that they can't get to your oil tank.
Yeah. So that's, I think, all the news. No snow in Connecticut.
No snow. That's the great thing.
Check your flights if you're going anywhere because they are getting some intense weather in the Carolinas.
Yes, but as of right now, it looks like, you know, of these 3 tracks that you see here, the offshore track is going to be the one. The yellow arrow.
Yellow wins. I like yellow.
Yep, and so that means no snow for us, aside from maybe an isolated flake or two in eastern Connecticut, but no accumulation. And all the accumulation will be confined over to the Cape and the islands. Okay. So, yeah.
All right, so we are coming up with all of your breaking news and your full weather report coming up at noon on Eyewitness News. You can watch us on Channel 3. You can also stream us for free, always, right here on WFSB+. No snow, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you at noon for your latest news and weather.